You're very welcome back. Now, your questions have been flying in on how we can look after our finances in 2026.
Money mindset coach Kel Galvin has stayed with us to answer all of your burning questions, and I think we'll have to get straight stuck in. Kel, there've been loads coming in and there's no surprise. 'Tis the season, like you said. Clara is wondering, she says, I want to start saving more money this year, but I have a lot of debt still to pay off. Should I focus solely on paying off my debts, or can I save at the same time?
That's a really good question, because if you're carrying debt, that feels really heavy and there's often a bit of anxiety that comes with that. But at the same time, you want to get out of debt, but you want to feel like you're saving, that you're getting somewhere. So for her, I would say, look, first of all, list out all the debts that you have, right? And list them in order of what the highest interest rate is. And then just go, okay, what am I going to focus on first? And if it's to save as much money as possible, start with the highest interest. Now, if you're quite emotional when it comes to money, as most of us are, because we're emotional beings, start with the one with the smallest balance first. So at least if you can get rid of that, you can go, tick, one box, done. But so just tell her, absolutely, line up your debts, pick one and go after it, and pay the minimum balances on the rest. And then once that one is finished, and you're going to feel amazing when you've gotten rid of that one, you take the amount you're paying on that one and roll it over onto the next one. Don't let the money go back into general spending. Use it like an avalanche, building power as you go. What I would also, I'm guessing she does not want to get back into debt. Most of us don't actively go, I can't wait till I have another loan. So at the same time, even if it's just like €10 a week, something like that, build up a little rainy day fund, a buffer for yourself. So yes, overpay on one debt, focus on that, but just put a small amount aside, because life is going to continue. We're all like, stuff is going to happen, things are going to break. But if she has even a small amount of money in an account that she can go, okay, phone broke, not ideal, bam, fix that, off we go again. That will give her a buffer so that she's not forced, or life doesn't conspire to put her back into debt. So please do that. So a little bit at the same time is what I'm trying to say there, but just small savings so you feel like you're moving forward, but definitely focus on getting rid of that debt.
Okay. We have a great question in from Brian. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I'm a father of two, and my wife and I want to start putting money away for their future, like college. How can we balance our day-to-day expenses with putting money away that won't be used for years?
Yes, so this is a really key one, because we have this money coming in, our income. Life is expensive and noisy and fast, particularly when you have kids involved. But you want to be thinking, okay, since life is moving so fast, you want to get your money to do some of the heavy lifting on the other side. So for this gentleman, I would say, sit down, really get to grips with your day-to-day finances. Look at what you've coming in, what you have going out, and try and figure out what you can actually save for the long term. Now, with Ireland and with any other country, inflation is a big thing, and it eats away at the power of our savings, which can be really tough. So any money that you know that you don't need for a longer period of time, at least 5, ideally 7, 10 plus years. So this gentleman, for his kids, start considering investing. And investing is just a skill. It's a skill like any other skill that you can learn. Now, you can go to a financial advisor, they can sell products, and that can be just a simple direct debit, but you can also teach yourself that skill of investing. It was one of the most important things I ever taught myself, and anybody can learn it. So definitely know your day-to-day finances, figure out what you can put away, and start doing that as soon as you can.
Some great advice. Kate has been in touch. I like this one. She says, my husband wants us to combine our accounts, but I would rather keep them separate, as I am used to monitoring my own spending in my own way. Do you think it's a good idea to have a joint bank account with your partner?
This is a mix of relationship advice and financial advice here now for you.
Isn't it?
Jack of all trades. This is a really interesting one as well, because when you're in a partnership, the kind of assumption is, oh, we'll put everything in together and it's going to be brilliant as roses in the garden. But money is quite a specific thing, and we have different relationships. And you'll often hear me talk about money in terms of relationships, because it is. So this lady is obviously quite independent. She's used to standing on her own 2 feet. And maybe the thoughts of combining the finances, it's a bit daunting. But he might be coming from a thing of, well, maybe my parents did it. This is what I'm all in on this relationship. And, for transparency and us moving forward, we need to put everything together. You don't have to absolutely do that. But what I would say for her is sit down and have that open conversation. What is it about the full joint finances that's really important to you? And then from her side, why is it important for her to have her own money, and it's what she's used to and it's what she knows. But having the conversation, you might dig up something that is a really important thing for one partner over the other, and you might end up saying, yeah, okay, we'll do a joint account, but for the moment we'll just have all our joint bills in this, and we'll still keep a bit of independence, and then maybe over time we'll put everything in together if that is what feels right.
Would you say it's always important, though, to have your own little bit of financial independence?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, because particularly, do you know what? Whether you have income or you're minding kids, whatever part you are in life, you need to have that money, because most of us we've educated ourselves, we've worked hard, and it's nice to have that bit, even if it's just spending money and everything else is joint, because every relationship is different. And it doesn't matter what you do or what I do, it's what feels right for you to do. And if it's a stepwise process where you slowly but surely put things together, or you keep things separately with a bit of overlap, that is fine. That's absolutely fine.
You need to have the escape fund, just in case.
Exactly.
In case it ever came to it, yeah.
Said it.
You touched on investment. Shane's texted in and said, I'd love to start investing this year, but my rent is over $2,000 a month. Is it unrealistic to want to invest, or is there a way that we can start small?
Always, if you're not able to invest now, have in the back of your mind, I need to do this. Because one of the key things with money, and it's a fundamental thing we all need to understand, is saving protects you, right? Saving minds you for the unexpected, expected things, the surprises in life, because life will throw you surprises. But the other side of that coin is to grow your money, because you don't want to be working at full hilt for the rest of your life with not a huge amount to show for it. So if you're not ready to invest now, start getting the mindset of, I am going to be doing this soon. And that's where you start reading up on things. It's something I focus a lot on. If they want to follow me, they can. But if you're paying €2,000 a month in rent, that is a lot, but it does depend on this person's income. So I'm guessing it's a good chunk of their income. And we're in this really hot real estate market where it can be very, very tough. So for this person, sit down and really look at your expenses. It'll always come back to that. What can you afford to set aside, even if you're not ready to invest yet? But make sure, before you do that, make sure you have your rainy day fund in place, your proper savings in place, because when you do invest, you want to be leaving that money for the long term. You don't want to be in a situation where life catches you off guard, maybe there's a job change or something in the future, or the rent goes up, who's to know, and suddenly you have to pull that money out of the market. You need to be able to leave it for the long term.
Okay.
But even if he just has a savings account that's earmarked investing for when he's ready, absolutely start that.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, Kel. Thank you so much for joining us, for all your expertise this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.